Okay.
Going live. There we are.
Whoop, whoop.
And everyone in the chat, let us know if anyone is on a delay or an echo or anything.
Yeah.
Echo. RMFH over here just drinking his Carl's Jr.
It's water, I swear.
People are saying, yeah. Yes to an echo? Were people being out of sync? Or what?
Both.
Oh, someone says, no, I'm good.
You sure about that?
I don't know. No echo. Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Are you doing your thing, Daniel?
Daniel's dead.
We don't want that.
I'm not dead, I swear. I swear, I promise I'm not dead. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like accuse you of being dead and didn't say anything.
Where I'm like, I'm not dead, and no one is dead. Silence from all of you. No pun intended. And I'm like, please tell me I'm not dead. Just minor existential crisis. It's all good.
Okay. Oh. I put my bingo sheet in my sushi. Daniel, I can't hear you.
No.
How about now?
No.
Daniel?
No,
Oh, wait. Yes,
Yep.
there you are.
Nothing? Okay.
No,
so
we
I
can
have
hear
to
you
have
now.
the tab open. Like, if I... Yeah, but that's the thing. If I... Every time you've stopped being able to hear me, it's because I've, like, went to the other tab. You know what?
Oh.
Hmm. Interesting.
So...
I'm in
now
a
I
different
know.
tab right now. Can you hear me?
Now I know.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Super weird. Super duper weird.
So which one of your streams am I watching?
Any.
Whatever.
All
you
three of
want.
them?
Yeah, just put all three. Just get 3 tabs. There you go. Your internet will not hate you. No. What do you want?
All right.
The choice is yours.
I'm fed and almost hydrated and ready to rumble when you are.
If only Ganon were hydrated. All right, so everyone, this is a special episode, not necessarily an episode of Hylian Gamescast, but a bonus E3 predictions live stream. You guys already know who I am if you're here, but we have co-streams with Rick on his RMFH channel and
What's up, everybody?
Daniel on his Captain Bergerson channel. So you guys can go ahead and
That's me.
let everyone know that's watching on your guys' side.
Well, I'll let Rick go first then.
No, go ahead, Daniel. I
Since he's
need to
been
get
going for
music
longer.
set up.
Okay. All right, sure. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our pre-3 show. That's what I'm calling it. Because it's our pre-E3 show. It's our pre-3 show. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday night. And if everyone's as excited as I am, I've just been like antsy and excited all day for this stream, for E3. It's Gamer Christmas. But I'm Daniel. You all know that if you're watching on my channel. But if you're on one of these other lovely people's channels, then say hello to them. You probably already know who they are anyways. So. That's all. I'm gonna stop there. 3 blank screens.
It's fixed now.
No,
You're
it
good.
shouldn't. It should.
No, you're
Actually,
good now.
no, it's good now. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a second to load in because our setup's a little different than usual.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be I'm not going
Just
to
a
be,
little.
redundant with this. So you all know who I am. Thank you for this, E3 predictions stream. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys.
Yes, and also
Yeah!
Taylor's here.
Taylor is here as well.
I am not
Over here.
streaming.
Where I don't know where my screen is going.
I'm here. Our 𝐓𝐻𝐿 community probably doesn't know me, but I'm basically always with Game Over Jesse or Cat Bergerson, and we talk about Nintendo and sing songs and cry and stuff.
It's true.
Lots of crying.
It's a
Actually, that
wonderful
reminds
time.
me, is last night I sang all of Bohemian Rhapsody while we were doing a test call last night, and you missed out. So
True story.
This is what I missed when you
That's
messaged me at
true.
10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the performance of a lifetime.
What's that?
Yeah. Perfect. And if anyone's watching on my channel, by the way, and you're like, who are these other people? I'm first of all shocked that you don't
Who
know.
are these other
But also,
people?
I put everyone's Twitter handles right underneath everybody. So just go, and if you're not already, just go drop some follows because they're good humans. And also 1 Wookiee. 2 good humans and 1 Wookiee. Yeah. So,
Hi.
can you take us away here? Take us away,
Yeah,
Jesse.
so as they
Hi.
mentioned, this is our pre-E3 Nintendo predictions. On Tuesday, we all have a bingo card set up that we're going to go through, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't really sure on the format of this or exactly what we were going to do. But yeah, we're going to basically, we have this big thing planned to go over all of our E3 predictions, and it's going to be fun. So Daniel, since you were the one who had this idea, why don't you go ahead and start us off with the predictions? And everyone in the chat,
For sure.
please let us know what your predictions are. And you can join the Discord to download the same type of E3 bingo card that we made. And you can fill it out and post it in the Discord. And we can all compare after E3 and see who had the most right. So, yeah, Daniel.
True. Yeah, I nagged everybody for the last week and a half. I don't even know, 2 weeks, however long we've been planning this, and I've just been nagging all of you guys so much. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna change my scene over to this one here. We all made bingo cards, so
That we did.
so yeah, I think it's I thought it would just be a nice fun sort of to go, and then on Tuesday we'll check them off if and when things happen.
You know what? Hold on. Where is
Holding
it?
on.
There it is. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay, no worries. So yeah, I'll start off. I've got mine on screen on my stream here, but I'm just gonna start top left to right, and I'll read all my things, and you guys can critique them. You can yell at me if you think I shouldn't have put that there. You can just chime in and tell me your thoughts, and then we'll just go, I guess, to Rick's. I'm gonna say Rick is next because he's the first one to actually have sent me his bingo card. So
Do you
So
want me
then
to send
he
you
can
one?
go
Because I can do that and send it to you.
sure, whatever you want. Whatever.
Yeah.
I know you have a paper version, so
That's
whatever,
okay. I'm
whatever's
working on it.
easier. Right. So I'll start. This is the easy one at the top left corner. Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I feel like that's just a given at this point. I'm shocked if we don't all have that on our cards.
Wait,
I would
first,
be really surprised.
Are we including post E3 Nintendo Treehouse?
Yes, I have Treehouse stuff on mine. So
Okay. I did
Direct
not
plus
include
Treehouse,
any.
whatever. Okay.
But that's fine.
All
That's
right.
fine. I'm a little bit more confident, so I think I can.
Hmm.
All right, continue,
All right,
Daniel. Sorry.
That's fair. Metroid Prime 4. If we get one, I get a point there. I'm really hopeful I'm really, really, really hopeful that we'll see Metroid Prime 4 trailer. But we'll see. Doug Bowser joke. I just think that sometime during the direct, they're going to make a joke about Doug Bowser, specifically about his name. It just feels
Some
like,
point.
it feels right to me. I think at some point. Doesn't have to be right at the start like last time. At some point, though. I put here Donkey Kong. This is actually in reference to the rumors that have been going around about a new Donkey Kong game, and part of me feels like there's some weight to those rumors. So I think Donkey Kong. We'll see. New Fire Emblem. It's Three Houses has been out for what, 2 years now. Fire Emblem games tend to have a pretty consistent like turnover rate, so maybe. New Mario Kart. Again, I feel like that one's kind of an obvious one, but a lot of people have been talking about that, and I feel like I'm not talking about updates for like Mario Kart Tour or DLC or anything like that. I'm talking like a new Mario Kart game, whether it be the Mario Kart X like we talked about on the podcast before, or something else, Mario Kart 9 maybe. But I think we already technically have 9 with Tour. So ACNH, that's Animal Crossing New Horizons update. I think we'll see like a big proper update for that. Maybe Zelda, maybe not. I don't know. I just wrote here, I don't know, Bayonetta, I guess. People have been waiting for Bayonetta, right? New Zelda spinoff. So not a mainline Zelda game, but a spinoff. So it could be like Hyrule Warriors, could be like Cadence, anything like that. Any sort of spinoff Zelda works for me. New IP. I think we're going to see a brand new franchise. Something completely new that we have never seen before. Not a sequel, just a brand new IP. I also wrote new hardware. That one I left a little vague on purpose because technically like a new controller or like a special edition Switch could be new hardware. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like Switch Pro, right? So this one's fun. This was kind of a joke one. I think there's going to be a game shown at the Treehouse that they announced during their Treehouse stream that was not announced during the Direct. So they like just don't announce it during the Direct and just show it at the Treehouse instead. Which is something they've done in the past with Metroid, Samus Returns. That's how they announced it for some reason. Free space. I told everyone they could have one free space. So free space. I think we're going to see Skyward Sword HD gameplay during the Treehouse. That just seems like a given to me. I think there's going to be one announcement during their E3 Direct as well that they're going to throw it at the end. That this game releases after this presentation. It's going to be like available that day, like on Tuesday. Some random game. I don't know what. Mobile game. I hate it, but I think we'll see something. A new mobile game. Maybe the Pikmin one that's already kind of been half announced. Zelda remake. I don't know which game, but I do think we'll see a Zelda game remade. New Smash Fighter. Pikmin. Please. I think that one speaks for itself. A Wii U port. I don't know what game is. There's not that many Wii U games left, but maybe Xenoblade Chronicles X or Yoshi's Woolly World. There's not that many Wii U games left. I think something's going to happen that's going to make Pokemon fans angry. So I just left that in there. Could be any Pokemon announcement. And
Nice.
It's going to make some Pokemon fans angry. So just going to put that one there. Splatoon 3. Just again seems like a given. They've already announced the game. I think we're going to see like either a new trailer or some gameplay or something like that. I think we will not see any Silk Song, which is, for those who don't know, the sequel to Hollow Knight. They showed some of that at E3 2019, and then they've been quiet about it ever since. And I think that I really want them to show it, but that they're not going to. So I just put no Silk Song. My wife told me this next one is kind of cheating because at the top, my second square was Metroid Prime 4 trailer. And this next square, my second to last square, is for no Metroid Prime 4 trailer.
Disqualified.
So, disqualified. My wife saw that. She's like, that's cheating. And I'm like, no, this is mostly a joke. But also, I really can't decide. I'm leaning like really 50-50 on that one. So, and then my last square is new amiibo. I think we're gonna see a new amiibo. I don't know what. Maybe another Zelda one. But we had a line of Zelda 30th anniversary amiibos. I could see 35th anniversary ones. But who knows? Some do amiibo though, and people will be mad because they hate amiibos. That's my entire E3 bingo card, everybody. Please tell me how much you hate it.
Okay. My biggest complaint about your bingo card is how vague it is. You can't say new Smash Fighter.
Too vague?
New Smash Fighter? Who?
I don't know who it's.
There's going to be a new Smash Fighter. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
But you don't know that. You don't know that.
Yeah, they could pull a fast one. You never know.
So you think I'm being too vague? They could.
I think it is too vague.
They could not.
That is too vague.
Too vague.
That is like a win. That's basically a free space. You didn't make this hard for yourself. Look at my bingo card, and you'll see.
Oh.
I sent it to you.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't realize that when I invited you open to hate it, But no. I see. Your point.
It was an open invitation, Daniel.
It was. You told you told us. Yeah, you asked for it.
You did.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. I could tweak it a bit before Tuesday to just be a little more specific with things like that. But I have to give it a good long hard thought about like what Smash Fighter. Is there any other points that are too vague for you?
I mean, I have lots of problems with new hardware.
New hardware? I said outright that I left that one intentionally vague. I don't think we're gonna see Switch Pro if that's what people are thinking. I'm thinking more like a special edition console, like like they give like a Monster Hunter themed Switch with like the gold decals and everything, right?
Yeah, or like a Breath of the Wild.
I'm thinking something more along those lines, to be honest.
We all did our
hey, a new
bingo
Zelda
cards,
themed Switch.
A new Zelda theme song. Yeah, that's it. Those are my complaints.
All right. So by Tuesday, I will rectify those. So I will.
All right, everyone else, show me your bingo card so I can complain.
Well, if you're going to complain about
right.
his, you're most likely going to complain about mine.
Oh, Rick, my man.
So
on screen here.
At the top left, I've got Age of Calamity DLC. I know they're going to show off. I'm mostly gearing towards the second half of the DLC. But I'm sure we'll get something for the first, just to promote it a little bit more. And then I've got Mario Golf Super Rush. Of course, that's going to be there.
Of course.
These are kind of my, at the beginning of each row are my, for sure. Monster Hunter 2 Stories, Stories 2, whatever. New Amiibo, of course. We'll probably get something. I think we do every E3 almost. Breath of the Wild 2. I really want to see it there, and I could totally see some people being super pissed if they don't end up showing it. But you never know, especially with how much the pandemic held everything back and everything. I want to see it, but at this point, I don't know. Skyward Sword HD, of course, we're going to see that there. Really looking forward to seeing more of Game Builder Garage.
Oh yeah, that released today, didn't it?
I was going to say, that game's out. Why would we see it at E3?
Well, then again, in 2019, Mario Tennis was out, and they still forced everyone to demo
promotion
at E3.
Yeah, I need to pick it up, but
True.
The new Joy-Cons, I'm sure they'll come out with newer colors or whatever, some special edition thing. No More Heroes 3. Metroid Prime 4, yeah, sure. It's about as likely as Pikmin 4 at this point.
Don't break my heart.
New Smash Fighter, obviously. We've been hearing rumbles about a new Donkey Kong game. So hopefully that happens. And then got my free space. Digimon Survive. That's something that I want to see more from. And Bayonetta 3. I don't know if we'll see anything this year. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. We'll definitely be seeing them. Splatoon 3, possibly. More of that. New Kirby game, maybe? Probably.
Maybe?
Yeah, we are overdue. Xenoblade Chronicles X. I never played it on the Wii U. I'd really like to see it put on the Switch. So
I think that's a good one because the Wii U could barely even run that game.
really,
And yeah, it's like in order to even get it to run, you had to download like 10 gigs of like patches to like get the game to run okay. So it would probably do way better on Switch, honestly.
yeah. Plus, be mobile. You know, you play it on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
Possible Mario Odyssey 2. I didn't want to just go with a new Mario game. I'd really like to see them continue that story there, and just the gameplay elements of that game are really, really enjoyable. One of my favorite 3D Mario games since Mario 64. Pokemon Legends, definitely most likely be seeing more of that, especially with it coming out in January. Switch Online, or is it? Yeah, it's January, right? Switch Online Virtual Console, and I put N64 in there. I really want to see them expand that freaking library for Switch Online. Either we get a virtual console, or they just keep adding more games and adding to that. Either Game Boy or N64, I'd love to see. Metroid Trilogy, I could see that being shown before Metroid Prime 4.
You're killing me.
New Mario Kart. However, I don't think it's very likely with the sales that they've been having on Mario. I think they're going to push Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as much as they can and squeeze that bad boy dry before they even start working on a new Mario Kart. And then Switch Pro. Highly doubt we're going to see that there, especially since they said it was software focused. But
that could have been a misdirect, right?
Could have been.
Who knows?
Could have been.
Could have been.
I love to play on words.
Oh! I didn't even mean
Misdirect.
Okay, that was pun intended.
Tune in this Tuesday for our Nintendo Misdirect.
Misdirect.
You'll never see it coming.
They'll never.
Gosh dang.
That's good. There's a lot of overlap between ours there.
Yes.
So.
I didn't put anything
Yeah,
about
I like
Pokemon, and I'm feeling real dumb right
I
now.
didn't either, but I'm sticking to it. I'm confident.
Good. Have confidence. Be free.
I'm gonna get your. Who's next?
Well, there was a super chat
Jesse?
earlier from Midnight Naomi. Says, "Let's start the stream off right. E3 hype. Love you guys." So thank you for the super chat. I would have read it off earlier, but I did not want to cut off Daniel during his thing. So I apologize for that. But I'm glad that you like the stream, and thank you. Tubes, do you want to do yours now?
Yeah, I sent my thing to Daniel. Rick, do you want it too?
Yes, please.
I'm just gonna post it in the burger.
Okay.
Sure. Post it in the burger chat.
I also named it Prawn. I'm sorry.
I saw that. I was like, prawn?
Son of Spawn? What?
You'll have to excuse me because I filled out my bingo sheet while I was at work today. What?
Oop. What?
I filled out my
I
bingo
hope
sheet at
adding it
work
in
today,
doesn't
so I'm
kill my
sorry.
stream, but
Oh. Daniel and I continually talking over each other.
Yes. It's what we do best.
Oh, there we go.
One brain to rule them all.
That's a bad idea.
Oh.
You need more brains than one
Sized.
if you're ruling all of them. All right. I've got yours up here.
Sorry, it's so
put it
ugly and I did it
somewhere.
in Comic Sans.
The fact that you did it in Comic Sans is the most tube thing I've ever seen.
And I couldn't
Oh,
figure out if
dear.
I wanted it capitalized or not.
Yeah, it's chaotic.
This chaos going on in here. Okay, are you guys okay if I start going through it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
So, I did mine while I was at work today, as I had mentioned. My life is chaotic and I never have free time. But I hear an echo. Do you hear an echo? Okay.
I do.
Anyways, so what I did is I actually at the beginning we did like our predictions for what we hope to see from Nintendo this year. So I included those. So the Geek Apprentice, hers was a paid Animal Crossing DLC. So I put that there. I'm still hoping that we're going to see something 35th anniversary related. I don't know if they'll do a bundle or if they'll touch base on it or even acknowledge the fact that there was an anniversary for Zelda. And I also put, yeah. And then I also put, I mentioned this new Switch model a couple of times because people have been talking about it a lot. So I wanted to put it there to make sure I wasn't missing out. New Mario Kart, everyone was thinking it. Nintendo Labo, we haven't seen anything new from that in a really long time, so I figured that would be a fun one.
Oh.
Jesse's prediction was 3 Zelda games. I can't remember. He said something specifically about it, so I just wrote Jesse's prediction. What?
All right.
You were calling us out about being cheap.
Right?
Busted.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and then I got
own prediction. It's Jesse's prediction.
Hey, someone had to include them.
All right. I think Jesse could include his predictions.
Oh my gosh.
Sure, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Something Metroid, meaning that maybe we'll actually get news about Metroid, not that there's no Metroid. New Mario game. I think Odyssey would be really cool to see, but I'm not really sure. I was hoping that they'd go in the same direction as Bowser's Fury. New Donkey Kong game. Right? New Donkey Kong game. Breath of the Wild 2 has a release date, 2021. I doubt it, but it's there.
I really want you to be right.
I am also with Rick hoping that we get an emulator of some sort, Virtual Console and 64 on the Switch. We know it's there and that they need to do it. I also put Breath of the Wild 2 release date. If it's not, I have a feeling that they're, they mentioned Breath of the Wild.
Wait.
I want them to tell us when it is.
Okay, so I was about to call you out and be like, you put 2021 Breath of the Wild release, and also you put it here. And I was ready to be like, you can't do that. And then I remembered that I put yes, Metroid Prime 4 and no Metroid Prime 4 on mine. So I guess I can't call you out for that.
That's great. Well, because I also did the same. I did
This is
something
fine.
Metroid and I said no Metroid. So I also put guess. I'm thinking Crash Bandicoot and Smash. I put Silk Song with a crying face because I don't know if that's actually going to happen. New Amiibo. And I put some very chat-specific things here, so someone acts up in the live stream chat. Maybe I cry. I cried when Animal Crossing was announced. Who knows? Maybe I'll cry this time. New Joy-Con colors. I don't know why. I need to fix this. I put in details on a new Switch model again. My bad. New IP from Nintendo, so I know I'm not the only one on that train. And also on the same boat is available now or later today. Technical difficulties during stream.
Yes.
Before, after, or during. And
That's just a given. Wait, our stream or Nintendo's stream?
Our stream.
Guys.
Oh, okay.
The Nightbot.
That's a
The
good
what?
one. What's
The
that?
Nightbot. The Nightbot that I programmed a week ago is finally working.
Oh, okay. It's finally here.
My
Perform it
last
for you.
swear is that one of us is going to scream or yell.
Oh yeah, that there's gonna be lots of little girl screams happening.
It's gonna be me. Sweating profusely.
Pikmin 4's
so
released.
Your bingo card is. Oh my god! I will cry. Your bingo card is just as cheap as ours.
I know.
I'm just putting that out there.
100%.
Rick's is really good. No offense, Daniel.
Yeah, I agree.
Rick's is really good.
I agree. I feel like he thought about it more than we did.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Rick is.
I
just
thought mine
better
was
than
pretty
us.
bland when I heard Daniel's.
Jesse's gonna
you.
show us up now, though.
It's because I
No.
peppered in the jokes. That's how I get by.
Let's get Jesse's up here.
So yeah, mine. Let's see.
Oops.
Okay, so I put a lot of initialing in mine, so it may not make too much sense from people just looking at it. But it starts out with Ocarina of Time HD, the one thing that I've been vouching for a long time. I'm still under the impression that Nintendo's waiting for Skyward Sword to be finished with all of its promotion stuff before they start talking about other Zelda remakes. But who knows? I mean, they have to be doing something during like the almost hour-long direct and then the 3 hours of the treehouse, aside from just playing Skyward Sword. So who knows what they're going to do with that? Or they could announce it so far, like in the future, like 6 months or 4 months, that they're not too worried about people canceling the pre-order because they know they're not going to be waiting 4 months just to play a Zelda game. So, yeah. And then Splatoon 3, I think, not just a new trailer, but I think...
Did we all put Splatoon 3?
I didn't. I forgot about it.
Nice.
Oh, you
Sorry.
didn't. Okay, forget it. I was waiting
Sorry.
like for one of those things that all three of us put, you know? but I guess the next one is. Continue, Jesse. Sorry.
I think we will get the trailer during the actual direct, but then they will also give us something for it during the like go more in depth on actual gameplay and new mechanics during the treehouse. Breath of the Wild 2, basically the same thing, touching mostly on exactly how it's different from Breath of the Wild. And then Age of Clams DLC. We all kind of mentioned that. Yeah.
I love that you just wrote Clams DLC on your
Every
bars.
time. Clams.
That's just really funny. Just Clams DLC. That's all you wrote. That's hilarious. Sorry, go on. That's all.
No, you're good.
I'm amused.
So we had our ideas that they were going to give us 2 Zelda things before E3, which was Skyward Sword and Age of Calamity, amiibo and DLC. Well, amiibo for Skyward Sword and then DLC for Age of Clams. But they only gave us the pre-order bonus stuff, and next month is the actual Nintendo, or not, the actual release for the DLC. So I think we're going to be getting a trailer for that, the first pack, with a hint towards what we're going to be getting for the second pack. Kind of like what Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild, where they showed off a bunch of stuff from the first pack, and then it was just like an image or something for the actual Champions Ballad DLC. I got Donkey, so either Shrek or a Donkey Kong game.
A new Shrek game, yes!
Yeah. Well, they are
I love
making the
Shrek
new
games.
Shrek movie, so there probably is a game coming soon. But yeah, Donkey
Another
Kong.
one?
It's like a
Alright.
remake thing. Like it's the same voice actors and same team, but it's like a remake. Yeah. But yeah, a Donkey Kong thing. I'm leaning more towards something as a mix between like Donkey Kong 64 and Country, to where maybe similar to like how the ukulele games had like its 3D game and then its 2.5D game. Like a mix of those two is what I'm leaning towards. A 3D Mario game, not 3D World or something 2.5D, but an actual new 3D Mario game. A Zelda SO, which is another Zelda spinoff, something kind of like
Cadence?
Yes, Cadence of Hyrule. I got Kart, which is basically a new Mario Kart, new IP. Specifically, I would think it would be something that like I can't think of the name of the studio, but like Nintendo has mentioned putting a focus on bringing out new IP from studios to try and have something successful like they had with Splatoon, with new developers and stuff that they're hiring. So I think it'll be something like that, like a new team that also has a new game. Wind Waker HD is the other Zelda remake that I have coming.
I hope so.
I think we're going to find Monolith Soft's the whatever Zelda project they were hiring to work on. I don't think it's Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's its own Zelda thing because they made a big deal about it being an official Zelda team, whereas when the entire team working on just Breath of the Wild wasn't technically an official Zelda team. So why would they change it if it was just going to stay the same? So that's why I think it's a brand new Zelda thing, not just like more of the same that they did previously. And I think Nintendo made more than enough money from Breath of the Wild to just use their own team and hire enough employees themselves instead of contracting out a separate team. There's been a bunch of rumors about Microsoft going around, so I think there'll be something Microsoft related in it, whether that's using like their game streaming service or whatever. I think it'll be interesting. We already had the weirdest thing that I like to bring up is that we had a Microsoft game themed Nintendo console when they released the Minecraft Nintendo 3DS, which was a Nintendo console themed after a game that Microsoft owns, which is really weird. And then you even have to log into your Microsoft stuff, I think, to play through it. So I think there'll be more stuff like that. And then for my free thing, I just have banana. So there's that.
That's the perfect free square.
Animal Crossing.
You already won bingo just with that.
Then, yeah. Animal Crossing expansion. I think it'll be not just a DLC pack, but either a large expansion that isn't just $5-10 DLC, but more like $20, and it'll have enough in it to where it'll be like it's like another portion of the game being added on, not just a bunch of small updates. But it could be like one big thing and then a bunch of small things added onto it. Like there was the Zelda Animal Crossing stuff that I thought was going to be coming. I think Nintendo is going to put some focus on the online expansion that they recently talked about. Whoa, I hear myself. That was interesting.
That was Jesse's ghost.
Yeah. So
Jesse's dead, by the way. No, just go on.
So to be specific, there was all the talk from the past couple of Nintendo presidents where they were going to be putting a lot of focus on their online service. I mentioned I thought Age of Calamity was going to be getting an online expansion as one of the first big games to see some kind of benefit from Nintendo updating their servers, and it ended up being Mario Party was the first game that got some sort of expansion from that upgrade process. But I think they're going to go into a lot of reasons why now it's better and what you can expect for a bunch of older games, because they told us they were going to be updating a lot of older games with new online features and DLC, but the only one that they've given us was Mario Party. So I expect them to talk a lot about a bunch of other games. Obscure MP, which is not Metroid Prime, but obscure Miyamoto project, because he always likes to come out with these weird things. Like the...
but what about Pikmin 4?
That could be his obscure project. That Pikmin was one of his.
I just
obscure
like messing with
projects.
Daniel.
I mean, it could have like some crazy new gameplay mechanic to where it is just like, yeah, that's Pikmin, but that's like a really weird version of Pikmin, like Hyrule Warriors to the Zelda series. Not saying that there's going to be like a Pikmin battle royale, which it basically already is, but yeah. So he came out with that weird robot game a few E3s ago, to where he was just super excited about this weird robot game, and then they ended up just giving it away for free during Star Fox Zero as like a pre-packaged game with it. They had that weird giant robot game that kind of turned into ARMS. So I think Miyamoto's going to come out really excited about something. Yeah.
Wasn't it Labo? Like the Labo robot set was one of started out as
yeah.
One of those Miyamoto projects that
Yes.
they were just like, I just throw some cardboard in there and just slap an $80 price tag. You're good. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
That was one of them.
Yeah, so I think there'll be something that Miyamoto's just super excited about, but 90% of the people at Nintendo just don't want to tell him no. So he's going to come out and be like, I got this new really fun idea. And they're like, we can't tell him no. Yeah. So
don't worry. We'll put that on the fridge. You did a good job, Miyamoto. Sorry.
There's the Nintendo Switch Pro. I think they're going to be talking about. Indie C. Geez, what was it? Indie crossover. Yes, that was it. I think there's going to be another indie crossover, not Zelda, like the Zelda one earlier that I mentioned, like the spinoff thing. But now I think it's going to be another series that's going to get its own weird indie mix-up game, kind of like Cadence of Hyrule. I think they're going to be having a focus, maybe not like one main game talking about mobile stuff, but at least a sizzle reel or something of like, oh, we have like these 2 or 3 new mobile games to come, maybe even that Zelda mobile game that they mentioned a while back, or some implementation with a mobile app and their theme park. Bayonetta 3, which has been talked about for years now, so eventually it has to come true. New Fire Emblem game, I think is a pretty safe bet. I think we'll get another Warriors game. I don't know if it would be another Fire Emblem thing, but I think they've had enough success with Age of Calamity and the previous Warriors games that they'll want to try something else. I don't even know what would, like maybe Star Fox.
Someone in the chat said Pikmin Warriors.
Pikmin Warriors would be.
Don't do that to the Pikmin. They deserve better.
They deserve to be thrown at things.
With their online service, I think they're going to have a Nintendo's version of an online or mostly online game, like more so than what Splatoon already is, but not completely online only, just like Nintendo's weird version of that. And then finally, Metroid Prime 4, at least a trailer,
right?
Which is, yeah, and then Metroid Prime Trilogy. So trailers for both, or at least a demo for one, and then a trailer for the other. And this is all during the Nintendo Direct. And I did not include anything Pokemon, although I do think Pokemon stuff is going to be there. I did not include anything Smash Brothers because I thought that was also obvious. So this was a few obvious things, but mostly
it's okay
bananas.
To pick obvious stuff.
Is it?
That's fair.
Are you sure?
I think, just to prod again at Kayla's criticism is that I think now, after seeing all 4 of our cards, that we were all equally vague. But initially I had said for these that we could do either like for the Direct or Treehouse or both or whatever you want. So I would be willing, if everyone else was, if during the treehouse, they announced something that was on Jesse's card to like still give him the point, you know. But that's just me. That's just me being. No, okay, never mind. No points for you. You will lose at bingo.
Only direct. If there is something revealed during the treehouse, it'll be Yoshi.
All right, Jesse, we have to kick you out of the bingo hall.
Oh.
You are banned from bingo now.
Give us your stamp thing.
Oh.
I don't have any.
To find something.
I don't have.
He's looking for something.
If we're not careful, he's going to rip another amiibo off. A what?
No.
Yeah, I actually said, does amiibo count? You have to like stamp the number.
She called it.
Yeah. So just for fun, guys, starting with YouTube's, because I think you're the most realistic out of all of us. Like, I think we all have kind of crazy out there thoughts and ideas and stuff, and you're the one that kind of keeps us grounded. But out of curiosity, what is one of your crazy out there dream announcements that you would like to see at E3? A visual of my bingo card? Sure. Let me get that.
Okay. In my ideal world, I want them to fix Animal Crossing. I don't want that to be a speculation. They did it with...
Okay, but when you say fix it, like
the game is missing so much, and it hurts. But they did it to New Leaf, so they can do it to New Horizons, where they just add random DLC, and where they literally added an entire new spot to the game. I'm still bitter about Animal Crossing. In a perfect world, I don't know. I don't know. I'd love to see something funky again, like something funky that nobody expects. Like GameCube had so many just like out there games that were just totally wild and weird, and I don't know why they would exist. And I know indie developers are doing a pretty good job of that too, but I wish that something like that would happen again, where we get this weird game that's like one of those weird one-offs that everyone just loves and is kind of like, you know, not well known. So like, you know, like Mystical Ninja was a great game, or like Sims when it was on Nintendo consoles was great. Anyways, that's what I'd like. I'd like a very obscure, weird thing.
Okay, so Tube's in here with the weird stuff. That actually sounds normal. That's fair. That's fair. Jesse, who's next?
Oh, me. Rick.
Who's next, Jesse?
What's the question again? Sorry.
Like your crazy out there dream announcement.
Crazy out there dream announcement. Well, I just love for the whole Nintendo Direct to just be Zelda. We all know that's not going to happen.
Oh my gosh. People would be so mad.
Oh, they'd be so angry.
Nobody would be more angry
they would
Zelda
be.
fans.
You know,
except for us.
I really want Ocarina of Time HD on Switch. And I say that's a crazy out there
I know that was
prediction.
My first thing
I really,
it makes me feel bad.
I really don't think that it's going to come, but they could surprise us. Not at E3. It might come at some point soon, but you never know. That's it.
All right, Daniel.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, in a perfect world where I could have all the games I want. Honestly, I know we've been making like joke after joke about it, but I legit think Pikmin 4, because Pikmin 1 and 2 released only within a few years of each other, and then they waited like nearly a decade for Pikmin 3. And then now it's been, again, almost a decade. And we got Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and it's great. But since then, all we've gotten is the worst spin-off game of ever, and maybe a new mobile game coming out. Yeah, I'm gonna say it out loud. Hey, Pikmin, that game exists, and it's not good. And then they said a mobile game is in the works or whatever. And I just think that the series deserves better. And with Pikmin 3 Deluxe having sold better than any Pikmin game before, I just feel like it's a given. Like there's interest in it now that maybe there wasn't before.
How do we know it just
other than that,
you
though, like I genuinely
buying
really
the game
want it.
50 times?
You can't prove anything. But other than that, in a perfect world, other than like maybe giving us some Metroid stuff here, I just really want as big of a Zelda blowout as they had for Mario's 35th anniversary. Like, I know we're probably all Zelda on the brain with E3, but like that, I feel like they did a lot for the 25th anniversary, and it's been radio silence. And I know that they're just waiting for the right moment. And I think that it's likely we're not going to see a big 35th anniversary thing at E3. But in a perfect world, my big pipe dream, absolutely, I would love to see like this big Zelda presentation, and they just come out the gate with like collector's packs or whatever. Like I think the GameCube had that collector's pack that was so good. 4 Zelda games plus a demo of the new game. Obviously, like demo discs and stuff like that are like a dated concept now because you can do eShop demos for free, and that's fine. But like still, like collector's packs, a lot of those old Zelda games have just you could fit a lot of those on one Switch card. That's all I'm saying because of how small those file sizes are. So yeah, I would love that, honestly, but I don't think we're gonna see it either. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot that they could do for Zelda, and they haven't yet. And I'm just like getting antsy. I'm getting anxious about it. So yeah, trying to temper my expectations, but it's sometimes the hype gets the better of me. So that's what I'm gonna leave that off there, Jesse.
Actually, Jesse, I
all
want to
you
change my
know.
answer.
Okay, Choops.
I'm changing my answer because I looked at 𝐼𝐸's stream and someone said wahahaha, and I thought about Wario.
Oh yeah.
My dream would be a new WarioWare on Nintendo Switch. That's what I want.
That would be weird. For sure.
That satisfies.
Like a weird game.
Yeah, that satisfies my need for weird, but relevant. And the Switch would be the perfect console for it.
Is it relevant because of Wario's golf pants?
Absolutely.
Is that what makes it relevant?
I just think about like WarioWare on the Wii and that mini game where you had to like spank yourself to the beat. That would be so good on the Switch. Sorry.
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, I want to stream that game so bad, but I can't find it and I can't emulate it, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, 1-2 Switch should have been a Wario game.
Right?
I could see that, actually.
Someone in the chat said Chiblima speaks for the people.
There you go. There you go. Also, Tetra would like to remind you Waluigi too.
Yeah, sure.
By the way.
Wario and Waluigi wear. That just doesn't
go.
sound good.
It doesn't.
Fine, we'll just make it Waluigi wear.
Line that.
No.
Oh yes.
Ouija wear.
Ouija wear. Oh yeah. Oh no.
A lot of people in the chat are mentioning a Zelda anniversary thing. Daniel.
Yes.
You mentioned a Zelda collection. Rick, you kind of touched on Ocarina of Time. Do you guys think anything anniversary related is going to come, or do you think they're just going to like? Someone mentioned that they didn't mention Skyward Sword. When they announced Skyward Sword HD, they didn't mention the 35th anniversary, even though the game originally released for the 25th anniversary. And as an added side, it was also that game's 10-year anniversary. So it like there's 2 anniversaries there, and then a 3 anniversary coming or whatever. So skipping all mention of any sort of anniversary thing, do you guys think it'll be the same? Like they'll talk about Breath of the Wild 2 or these other Zelda remakes or Zelda games or spin-offs, but they won't say anything about anniversary? Or do you think they'll actually acknowledge anniversary?
You know, I could see them announcing a date for another direct that will be the anniversary, like this 35th anniversary direct. Like they've done that in the past where they've ended a direct and they're like, oh, you wanted to hear about this game? Well, we're going to have more info on this date. And now you have to come watch our other presentation. And I could see them doing something like that. And then, like, at least if they mention it, that'll satiate the fans' desires, including myself, to want, you know, everyone wants some 35th anniversary something, right? So at least then it'll quench a bit of that thirst without them having to use up their entire E3 segment. Then again, their presentation, their direct is 40 minutes, so they could still like squeeze in a huge thing and still have other stuff that's not Zelda. So I don't know. But according to Samus Hunter, who is a well-known leaker at this point, with a really good track record, according to her, Skyward Sword it was meant to be the first in a line of games for the 35th anniversary. And it was chosen to be the first because of its sort of timeline placement and its story relevance, right? So I don't know if I'm not, you know, I can't like verify anything, but like it's a good train of thought, at least. It's a very optimistic train of thought, you know? So there you go. That's my spiel.
We all know it was only picked because of Groose. Come on.
Oh, that too. That too. But would they really pick Groose over Tingle?
No, Beetle all day.
Beetle all yes. So like we can't choose the game with.
Let's just make a super game with all three of them.
Well, this one's got Groose and Beetle.
Grooseland.
Oh,
Grooseland.
Grooseland. Make that a game. That'll be fantastic.
Hey, when Skyward Sword HD comes out, should I gel my hair up like Groose or what?
Yes. Absolutely. 100%.
My Groose cosplay.
Jesse, do you have further thoughts on that subject, or you just looked so focused? I'm sorry. You're just you're in the zone.
I will only say I think Beetle's Japanese name is Terry.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That's all.
I don't like that. He's Beetle to me, and he's Beetle. Terry just feels like too.
He looks like a Terry though.
Average a name.
Terry's get bowl cuts.
Okay, he sees it. But Terry doesn't have that raw energy, that sheer power that Beetle has.
That's true.
You know, because
that's true.
Beetle is harboring some serious energy, some serious power under that bowl cut. That's all I'm saying.
Especially
you don't want to
with
see
that
what
backpack.
He's got in his backpack.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard rumors that his calf muscles are on par with Mario's.
Think about how much he walks carrying a backpack that huge,
and flying.
He's probably
the plane
got that
around.
bag full. His bag is probably full of bugs, like just full of them.
You know, I think he's the only other character aside from the Happy Mask Salesman and the thief that carries a bag around.
So
Anyways, yeah, Rick.
Point.
well, I was gonna say my question is how can Link carry all the items in his pocket yet Beetle's got to walk around with a big backpack on? He must really
Okay,
be
think
carrying
about
a
that.
lot of bugs,
How-
Daniel.
Yeah. Think about that. Like the size you see on Link's like belt, he's got those like little pouches. They're like that big. He's got like 3 of them on his belt, and that's where Link keeps all of his inventory items. Talking swords, shields, bows, arrows, all the material drops, everything, and different outfits, and all that in his little pouch, right? So exactly. So if all of that can fit in those tiny pouches, how much stuff is Beetle carrying around in a backpack that is larger than his body?
Beetle's
And
ripped.
why does he never restock on arrows?
Hey man, Beetle's not out
Think
there
about
getting
it.
shot at like you. He can't go pick up the arrows when people shoot at him.
That's true. He's got bugs in there, man. They're full. It's full of bugs. It's you just know it. He can smell them on you, man. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Anyways.
Oh, my crazy out there speculation thing. I would love to see
Yes.
something about the Mario movie that they've been making for like 3-4 years now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like them to say Mario
You know
movie
what?
canceled.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Shots
no.
fired.
I feel like it would be a weird place to announce a Mario, like, or to show us more Mario movie or to drop a trailer. But like Nintendo does weird shit. So
Hello, this is a gaming
instead of
convention.
that,
Here's our
but
movie.
They do weird things. Here's our movie. It's a gaming franchise movie. It's Mario, so I don't know. Maybe I could see it, but it probably won't. I don't know, but maybe. But probably not.
Someone in the chat says Beetle has the
But
Minish
maybe.
City in his pack.
He took. That's where all the Minish are. In Breath of the Wild, he took them all into his backpack. He wanders, and they whisper in his ears at night. And
Beetle
Interesting.
holds the Zonai
Yeah.
inside his backpack.
That's where they all went.
yeah. So if you open his backpack, the green hand actually lunges out, and and
The Happy Mask
and it
Salesman's
finds
there
the
too.
nearest bug.
You know,
Yeah.
because he never made it into
Exactly.
a new 3D title like he said he was going to.
No.
What happened? What
Yeah,
happened?
he did say that. He said he would be coming
Did he?
back.
What did he say?
During there was an interview with the Happy Mask Salesman during the launch of Majora's Mask 3D. It was like an Iwata Asks
Oh.
type thing, but it was in
Right. Okay.
lore with an interview with the Mask Salesman, and he said that he would be coming back, and he never did. But my theory is Breath of the Wild, although has a Happy Mask Salesman, it's not the Happy Mask Salesman.
True.
But yeah, do you guys?
Or maybe he'll be in the sequel.
Yeah, could possibly.
Kilton takes off his face and he's just hiding under there.
But see, okay, the difference is like Kilton has this very manic energy about him, right? Happy Mask Salesman is he's very composed. He's he's like the
'Cause
charming
he
sociopath.
picks you
He's
up and like
very-
shakes you around and then screams at you in Ocarina of Time.
Right, and then he puts you back down and he's like,
Who's to say he's not
"Got
just
you,
wearing a
pretend
mask
man."
though and taking on the
True.
persona of
That's a good
That's a
Kilton?
good point.
Highly unlikely
Good
though,
point.
but you know.
Yes. True.
All right, so Daniel gave his full thoughts.
Also, in my chat here,
Yes.
Denny said. Oh, sorry. Just Denny said his backpack is where they expand on Hyrule's map in Breath of the Wild too. That's sorry. I just had to put that one out there. All right.
That's
Thanks
good.
for that. Sorry, Jesse. Continue.
No. I was gonna say we heard Daniel's thoughts, but do Tubes or you Rick, have any further thoughts on a future Zelda 35th Direct, or do you think they're just going to talk about everything in this one, or a new event planned at another time, or what's going on? Do you guys think?
I honestly think they'll probably be doing an event later on. I don't know. You know, the leak from GameStop, it could totally be fake. You know, there's been things in the past, like I was watching HMK's Fifth Dimension today, and they brought up the Grinch for Smash thing and how it actually looked real when they had leaked it out and everything. So, I mean, it's possible. It's possible somebody just took the template from the last anniversary and reworked a couple characters in there and made a fake poster. But I don't know anybody at GameStop. I know there is something going on Tuesday. So, and they are doubling staff over there. So, you never know.
Woo.
But yeah, I think it's going to be at a later date. I don't think they're going to take E3 and overshadow everything else because there's multiple different anniversaries this year. So it would be kind of rude for them to just be like, oh yeah, we're only focusing on Zelda's 35th, you know, and throw the shoe at freaking Donkey Kong and Metroid and all these other franchises, you know. But that's my thoughts on it.
All right. Choops.
In a perfect world, we would see something. The more I think about it, the less likely it would be at E3. Just because I'm thinking that they probably have a lot more lined up for E3 than just talking about Legend of Zelda. They like to, you know, kind of span things out and be diverse in what they talk about. So yeah, we could very well see something later. I'm starting to feel a little bit like we might not, though.
That would be sad.
Yeah, it'd be really sad. So,
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think we'll probably hear something about it at E3. But I hope they just do like a dedicated Zelda Direct or something for it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I still think there'll be some Zelda stuff, but yeah, like I know I said it already, but I could see them doing some Zelda stuff, you know, to keep things, and then being like, "There's another Zelda Direct on this date," or tune in then, and it's after E3. But keep in mind that they have the Direct is going to be 40 minutes. That's a long Direct. So like, there's a lot of trailers you could squeeze in that time, you know.
Well, that's why I feel so
like,
confident
I
on a
like
Pro, right?
Some still. Right. But they said software only in their tweets.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
You
like,
know?
That's what tells you they're lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo lies about everything, guys. just so you know. That's because their marketing team will hate them if they...
Well, it's not just like that's
if they slip
every company, but people get especially mad at Nintendo for doing it.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, I think I've been saying for a long time, like anytime we talk about Skyward Sword, I always mention that I think other Zelda games are coming, but I think they're going to wait until they know Skyward Sword has sold what it's going to sell before they start mentioning other Zelda games. Yeah. But at the very least, I think they will give a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 at the Direct, and then give some gameplay and other stuff during the Treehouse, but then say that more Breath of the Wild 2 stuff would be coming later in the year. Kind of like how they, for the Treehouse, after Breath of the Wild was actually revealed and everyone could play that demo, they had like 4 hours of Breath of the Wild gameplay, and I don't think they're going to be doing that at this E3, but I think as it gets closer to the release of Breath of the Wild 2, I think they're going to have that. And then they're going to announce all the cool pre-order stuff that it'll obviously come with because it's going to sell millions and millions. So they're going to want to put extra stuff in there to get even more money. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Cool.
They're good thoughts.
Thank you.
Good brain you got.
It is good, isn't it? It's just occurred to me, this is unrelated to what we were talking about, but with both Jesse and Rick having these great hats, I feel like now I need to get one.
You guys have the same hat?
Sorry. This is where my brain goes.
It almost looks the same.
Yours is short.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the little thing right here around the edges.
I want a hat.
They're pretty similar. Especially, like, you can't tell how, like, short or long they are from this angle anyways. I need a hat, guys. That's the long and the short of it. Yeah.
Do you guys want to get into questions, or is there anything else specific that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we could do some questions.
All right. Everyone in the chat, I know 𝐷𝐸𝐴𝐺𝐸 and Daniel both have their chats active as well. So everyone in any chat, if you can go ahead and get some questions ready that you would like us to answer, we will each try to do our best to get to some of those questions. And while you guys are getting your questions ready, we can kind of go around and quickly say, because I know there was a lot of people that asked on mine, I don't know about your guys' stream, but we talked about Breath of the Wild 2 a little bit. So while we wait on some good questions to come around, Matt says, get a banana hat, Daniel.
Yeah, that's
what
that's what I need.
Trying to be quick while we wait on questions, what specifically do you think is going to be announced or shown off or whatever for Breath of the Wild 2? I know we've kind of mentioned it in previous podcasts, but since it is Tuesday, this will be the last time that we get to talk about it. So really quickly, Daniel, starting with you this time.
I can honestly see a trailer. Like, okay, this is my brain running wild a little bit. So I could be way off the mark, but it would be amazing at the very least to see a trailer that's like, I'm thinking like a 3-minute trailer, 2-3 minutes. And my brain is going to like E3 2016, where they had that great classic, the legendary, if you will, trailer at E3 that year for Breath of the Wild. And then they spent a great deal of time during their Treehouse stream showing gameplay of the game. And most of it, but not all of it, but most of it was just around the Great Plateau, which there was still a lot to show there. But I don't know, again, it's my brain running wild. It would be really great to see stuff like that. If they do, like, I will be glued to that Treehouse stream the entire time. Again, like I was that year. So but I'm probably wrong. So I'm probably wrong, but that's kind of where I'm leaning at this point. Maybe not quite as huge as E3 2016, because that was pretty much all they did that year, pretty well. And I think there's going to be more diversity this year, but I still think that it's been long enough that we're going to see more stuff. So yeah.
All right. Rick's gone, so choose.
Are you sure you don't want to ask him?
I am tired of listening to Daniel talk about Zelda. No, sorry.
I think we're gonna get a release date. They're gonna tell us when it's coming out instead of being so vague about it.
The question is, does Nintendo know when it's coming out?
That's what I've been saying is, you can't delay a game if you technically never set a release date, right? That's...
They shadow drop it. Available now.
Oh my gosh.
I'd
they
actually
do
crap
that,
myself.
I will have an actual stroke. I will have a heart attack. I don't know what I would do. I really do not.
Like,
Oh my
available
God.
now. Throws computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, stream's over. I'm buying this.
That would
And you can't
explain
get it
the
on
GameStop
eShop
thing.
because honestly, yeah, it would. It would explain why
I don't think
they'd be
that's
like
it,
doubling
but-
staff at GameStop. I don't think so either, but it would explain that. It would be one
They just have to
explanation.
take all their copies and just throw them out in the street and then barricade the doors.
Oh no. Oh no. Mm-hmm.
Is Rick back?
No.
Okay.
Just his chair.
Because I'm watching on YouTube, so there's a bit of a delay on my end. But I will say that I expect a trailer that explains why they're hold on.
I expect
No,
thoughts.
okay. So I was trying to think. So I expect a trailer that goes into more of the story, like the first voice acting trailer we got from Impa in Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be explaining kind of what's happened since Breath of the Wild and why they're exploring in the cave and stuff. So I that's
Right.
yeah, that
So like
I think
a
that's
story
safe.
trailer sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's a safe guess. So that's what I'm going to go with. And then gameplay from like whatever the beginning of the game would be during the treehouse. Kind of like how they started at the Great Plateau and the last treehouse thing. But yeah. Tubes, Rick, is it your guys' turn?
I'll go ahead. I think what we'll see is a trailer, and if we're really freaking lucky, gameplay at the treehouse. But in all actuality, keeping it more realistic, I think we're going to get a trailer with maybe the subtitle and a release year, whether it's this holiday or 2022. I'm at this point, I'm kind of leaning more towards 2022 in March, but there are a lot of heavy hitters coming out then as well. So, and Legends is coming out. I don't know if they want to cannibalize that, but March would be far enough away from it. So, but yeah, that I think we'll just get a trailer and a release year with maybe the subtitle. And I really hope, because one thing, and this is, I'm going to reference HMK's thing because I thought they made some really good points on his Fifth Dimension stream today. But the thing with Age of Calamity is a lot of the general consumers, a lot of them thought that was the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And it kind of confused people a little bit for the average consumer. If they... I really don't want them to do this, but it was something that they mentioned, was having a secondary subtitle. So The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild blank. I would really hope that they do not do that, because they're either going to have Breath or Wild in the title somehow to grab those average consumers. Because one thing that they mentioned was Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask did not sell as well, and you would have thought that it would have, because Ocarina of Time was such a, it was such a great game at the time, and a lot of people jumped on board with it, just like Breath of the Wild. So I thought it was a pretty valid point there, but I really would not like to see, an extra subtitle under the name.
Yeah, but that begs the question then. Like, okay, for the mass consumers, like no offense to anybody, for the average idiot, people get confused and everything, and that's normal. Like I worked in a coffee shop for years, and you'd see people get confused about friggin' croissants, right? So, and that's just how the public is. That's normal, and especially with marketing things. sometimes Nintendo can be too vague about certain things. But again, it makes the question, like, maybe that's what they should do for marketing purposes, but do they know that? Because it's Nintendo.
Yeah, that's very true.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like they might not realize at all that they were confusing people, right? So I don't know. So yeah, that there's a bit of a thinker there. It's like, well, maybe they confuse people, but do they realize that they've confused people? I don't think they do.
I would hope that the Wii U would have taught them a lesson, man.
It could be something where it has a different
right
name
there.
in Japan and the rest of the world. Like Age of Calamity in Japan is like Hyrule Warriors Apocalypse or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they could, like, one version just be Breath of the Wild 2 and the other version be like some crazy thing, like A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds being what it is here. And then in Japan, it was Triforce of the Gods and Triforce of the Gods 2, even though Link's Awakening would have been Triforce of the Gods 2, not the actual Triforce of the Gods 2, because, yeah, anyways.
Right. See, so
Nintendo
Nintendo's
and
weird with
names.
things like that. They are weird.
Yeah, Steven in chat is referencing HMK's tweet from earlier, "To Breath Too Wild."
Too Breath Too
Oh
Wild.
no. I do not like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm with you there. Like, I'm hoping they don't do the double subtitle. Like that would be such a mouthful. Like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2, blah 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 blah. Just like, no, that's too much.
They could do it like,
I feel like doing that will almost, like, it's like they're over explaining it, and it's just going to confuse people even more
Yeah.
than
Mhm.
just
I
giving it
agree.
its own subtitle. Yeah.
so the first two Zelda games, they went from like the Hyrule Fantasy subtitle, The
Right.
Legend of Zelda, and then Zelda 2,
Mhm.
they just got rid of all of that and was like Zelda 2 Adventure of Link.
Right.
So I don't think they would, but if anyone would do it, it would be Nintendo if they went like Zelda 2 something something.
Mhm.
True. I really hope they wouldn't call the sequel to Breath of the Wild Zelda 2 something something, because that's
Confusing.
you're gonna muddy the waters even further. But
Now I don't know
then
what
we can
game
never
I'm
talk
playing.
about Zelda
Well,
2
they-
again without.
They said they wanted to name A Link Between Worlds the new Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
hate that, so I'm glad they
Ye-
didn't. But
Thankfully,
I
they
feel like that
don't
would have
like
been
that.
a more fitting title for Breath of the Wild, because they changed the conventions of the entire series with that game, you know. But
True.
I love Breath of
But
the Wild's
if
name.
we think about
So
the way, like, the new, it's great. But it actually does make sense, because it's almost like a remake of Link to the Past, but sort of a reimagining.
yeah.
And the way they've kind of gone with the new sort of the moniker with New Super Mario Bros., it wasn't breaking conventions of Mario. It was going back to sort of the roots of Mario in a way. So I guess in a way it kind of feels like that would fit, even though it's a bit of an oxymoron. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's confusing.
it's Nintendo.
I think what they
you
landed
know.
on was much better. It's Nintendo. They will do weird things, and we will still purchase their software. So, yeah.
You know it. Jesse had mentioned
Mhm.
that he wanted me to talk about my thing. I basically said that they're going to give us a date, and that's all I really expect. A trailer would be swanky. Yeah, so a trailer and a date. So same as you guys. Do we want to answer some questions? I see that some people have started asking in Rick's chat and your chat.
Yeah, Rick, you go first. You pick
Ooh.
out a question.
Okay. Well, I've got one from Anthony here. He says, "You think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be hard to get when it does come out?" Also, the same question about the Switch, the new Switch Pro. I can guarantee you Breath of the Wild 2 won't be hard to get when it comes out, especially since everything's kind of calming down from the pandemic and everything. But the Switch Pro, yes, definitely. Be up when they announced that, and be on. I mean, even the Switch, when it first came out, most of the special pre-order bonuses and all that kind of stuff went out the window within 10 minutes, if not less. I just so happened to go to bed that night when they had first announced it, and I pre-ordered my Switch, and then like maybe an hour later we're going to be doing the Zelda Breath of the Wild special edition and all this other garbage. So make sure to keep an eye out when it does get announced, definitely, for the Switch Pro.
Like with the Switch, I couldn't even actually
100%.
get a Nintendo Switch. I didn't get mine until I started working at Nintendo, and they provided a console for me. And that was like, you still couldn't get them at that point.
Yeah, I remember it was pretty bad. I got mine. I went to a midnight release and waited in line and held my pee for 6 hours, and that's how I got mine. And I wouldn't recommend that experience in general to anyone. But yeah, definitely, like exactly what Rick said. The game will be easy to get. Heck, Mario 3D All-Stars is still easy to get. Like, stores have extra stock for them. And that was like a time release game that Nintendo was like, get it while you can. No, it's fine. That software is typically not a problem unless it's like a special edition software, like a steelbook case or something fancy. But yeah, hardware, a new Switch model, absolutely, it's gonna be brutal trying to get it. And even because any hardware really, like even those Joy-Cons, man, they were gone so fast. As soon as pre-orders went, like I have been monitoring pre-orders and orders going live for that in basically all regions, because I'm like, screw it, if I have to import it halfway across the world, I'll do it. And I cannot, like, there was the other day there was a pre-order, because I follow like Nintendo Deals and those Twitter accounts and stuff, right? I follow like 3 different ones that post them. The other day, what happened is Amazon UK, their pre-orders went live for Joy-Cons, and 4 minutes after they went live, it was gone. And I know it was 4 minutes or less, maybe, because that's how long it took me trying to pay for it to be gone. And so, yeah, that it sucks. So, anyways, it's gonna be tough. But what can you do? What can you do? You just have to fight everybody. Fisticuffs at Walmart. No, don't fight people, please. No violence, please.
Black Friday, but for Joy-Con.
I ordered the pair that I was for the giveaway for 100,000. I ordered that pair from Japan the other day, so I had to do the same thing.
Ooh. Yes. That's how bad it is. I blame scalpers.
Yeah.
Go on, Jesse.
No, I was going to say, do you have a question picked out, Daniel?
Yeah, so this is in my chat here on my stream. Actually, I've got a handful of questions here, but I'll just pick the one that kind of excites me the most reading it. Nice. Sorry to my other friends here. So Panda Production Studios asks, do you think 4 potential pieces of Zelda content could be shown? Games, DLC, crossovers, not cloths. So yeah, not counting, I guess, like physical merch, like clothes or pins or whatever. But honestly, I could see it. I could see, if we're talking just like 4 Zelda software related things, Breath of the Wild 2, Skyward Sword HD, something new, or like another remake or a spinoff. Like there's a lot they could do. So yeah, I absolutely could see that. 4 different Zelda things being shown. 100%. I'm with that.
Yeah, most definitely. Two out of the 4 are already kind of there with Skyward Sword and most likely Age of Calamity. So if we get Breath of the Wild, that only leaves 1 more slot.
Yeah, that too.
Never know.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Actually, I forgot about Age of Calamity. Is almost it's almost definitely going to be shown there.
Yeah,
because of the DLC's release date being so soon.
I have a feeling that we'll probably get the same kind of like short announcement thing for the second DLC pack, kind of going over very vaguely what it's going to offer, you know, added roster, all that other garbage.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Jesse, Tubes, you have any thoughts on that?
Tubes?
I was just trying to find the tweet that we did on Jesse's thing about our predictions, because in line with the 4 Zelda thing,
Oh yeah,
that was Jesse's original prediction, is that we'd see at least 3 Zelda things. And I can't remember his exact breakdown. Jesse, do you remember what it was?
I think they
I
came to
retweeted that
pass
recently,
for
actually.
the
Let's see
last
if I can find
Nintendo
it.
Direct. Wasn't the 3 things the things for the last Nintendo Direct?
No, so this was after that direct.
Oh, okay.
I think this was like expectations for like this year out of Nintendo.
Or are you talking about? Yeah, are you talking about like that prediction thread that we did like a year
Yeah.
ago, and then we were like, okay, here's our. Okay, I think I found it here.
Okay.
This is what Jesse said. Nintendo will announce 3 Zelda games before the end of 2021, 2 originals and 1 remake. So already we have Skyward Sword HD. There's your remake.
Yeah.
So 2 original games being announced is what we have left. Unless I'm forgetting some games. I hope not.
I'd really like to see a new 2D title.
Yeah.
Something fresh, not a remake of
Yes.
the Oracle games or anything like that. I'd really like to see something fresh.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Please,
know a lot of
Nintendo,
people
release
want,
that
like, these remakes
Zelda
and
1
stuff.
Breath of the Wild thing.
Oh, that would be so cool. That
Yes.
like tech demo they yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people really want like their remakes and the remake packs, myself included, because the classics, you know, it's nice to have them have like a second life on Switch. But also, like I played all those games a lot of times, and so new games would just be even better. It would be better, because old games can not always. Maybe it's hard sometimes, but they can usually be accessible in some shape or form. But new games are new games.
Oh,
More
we
games
haven't
is good.
we haven't really gotten anything since A Link Between Worlds, and that was, you know, I'm not counting Triforce Heroes. I refuse to count that game.
Okay.
Alan, I
hated it.
disagree.
That game almost made me chuck my 3DS out a window. So
Ooh.
it's very frustrating to
Oof.
play that game.
Yeah, I never finished Triforce Heroes actually. I got quite bored with it. But it was only playing single player. So, but you know what? Triforce Heroes could work. Like if you had a multiplayer pack, like Four Swords Adventure, Triforce Heroes, like put those together as a pack on Switch with like good online functionality.
I was gonna say,
Whether it
if
be,
you have
good
friends,
matchmaking, and you could do like a matchmaking system or play with friends, either one. I think that could really elevate the experience, to be honest. Yeah, because I would again, I like Four Swords is also one I never finished because I didn't have friends to play it with back then. So you know, it could be fun if they were to bring something back like that. But I don't know. Those are thoughts.
I guess I just got a super chat from
Sure did.
Brandon who says, how likely do you think, and this will count as my question, then Tubes can go with hers, how likely do you think Ocarina HD is to be announced in 2021? And do you think it'll be an updated port of the 3DS remake, or do you think they'll do a full-blown from the ground up remake? I would love the ground up remake, but I think it will be the normal, not normal, but the 3DS upscaled HD thing with some additional improvements as well. Kind of like what they did with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Ocarina of Time was like the first big remake that they did, or remaster. And so, and it was also Grezzo, not Nintendo. So I don't think they had a lot of trust with 𝐓𝐬𝐿 on that, especially since it was Ocarina of Time, which is
Right.
one of the most nostalgic for people. But then after they did such a great job, or it sold so well, then they did give 𝐓𝐬𝐿 more freedom with Majora's Mask, which ended up giving
Shouldn't
us
have. They
two fishing ponds. And
yeah, and they neutered the Zora swimming, and they butchered the boss fights and the ice arrows. They honestly, if Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time came to Switch, but they general handling of those games was like the 3DS versions, I honestly don't know if I would buy them. I really,
would.
I don't know.
you would.
I probably would, but I
Look at all
would be
those
upset
amiibo
about
back
it.
there. You would buy them.
Yeah, that's another
my
thing.
point. Look how much shit I buy, and I'm saying that.
It's a sucker for Nintendo.
I am.
I think
absolutely
they
a
would
sucker.
have its own amiibo as well. And anytime that Ocarina of Time HD gets announced, Majora's Mask would be soon to follow, I believe. I think they're both already done, actually. But yeah, I think it'll have more changes, like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess did. I think they probably realized that was the better way to go. Even when 𝐓𝐬𝐿 did Link's Awakening, it had changes more aligned with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess than it did the other Zelda 3DS games. And Skyward Sword seems to have similar changes to where they've added in something to make it more convenient overall, which was just the amiibo function that everyone's kind of upset about, and the traditional controls that everyone asked for, similar to the stuff in Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, like the slow sailing or the Midna stuff, or even the boots in Ocarina of Time was one that was actually really good that they changed. So I think we'll get more changes for Ocarina of Time HD. That'll be more aligned with what we got from the other HD remakes. And I think it'll have its own amiibo features and stuff as well. And the cool thing is, with Ocarina of Time HD, will probably, I don't see them. Okay, so I just thought of this. This is the way Nintendo could trick us on a bundle, where we have Ocarina of Time and Master Quest bundled together.
Okay.
Yeah, to where like that'll be the troll Zelda bundle.
But I mean, that's just, because the 3DS version had Master Quest, didn't it?
Yeah,
It was already part of it. So that's no. They should not do this.
I think that's what they'll at some point. I think if they do that, they'll mention it and be like, they'll mention that it's the technically two games bundled into one or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, Chubes, do you have a question?
Sure do. My question is, how was your day today, Jesse? I'm just kidding. I don't care.
That's a good question.
Ouch.
Allow me to answer that.
I did have a question. One second. I gotta find it again. It's like this entire segment where everyone's just talking about Beetle.
I mean,
Yeah. That's
Okay.
segment.
Sir Ligna? Hope I'm not falling for something there. What is the most disappointing news you think Nintendo might announce at E3? And for me, the biggest disappointment of every single year, every time Nintendo decides to talk about it, is gosh dang FIFA. Sorry if you guys like playing FIFA on the Switch.
No, I'm with you there. It's just the most uninteresting. It's the same game every year, over and over again.
Like cool, like do your thing. Like put FIFA on the Switch. Please don't waste time at E3 for it. Or any Nintendo
Yeah.
Direct ever. I don't care.
We need an hour-long
Well,
press
you know,
conference
you could
for
put it in, like-
Just Dance
like,
2021.
Sometimes they'll do. Oh, there you go. Sometimes during the directs they'll have like the sizzle reel section where they'll have like their big, their big trailers, whatever, and then like kind of near the end they're like, okay, and here's like 30 trailers in 2 minutes, and they just show like 5 seconds. I mean, that's where you put FIFA.
Yep.
That's where you put it. So it just there you go. That's then everyone wins. No hate, but it's like this is not why I'm here. So,
Right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Glad we're all in agreement.
Yes, we are
Yeah,
aligned.
What's the plan? Are we gonna do more questions? What do you?
Yeah, does someone want to pick out, since you guys are streaming, Daniel and Rick, do you guys want to do the 2 final questions? That way you can get more from your chats.
Go ahead, Daniel. I don't see any here.
Oh, sure.
I've answered
Okay,
the other ones.
this one comes from... Oh, that's fair. This comes from Rin in my chat. She says, how likely do you think it will be that they'll have more Mario Party DLC stuff, like maybe fully online and adding some boards and stuff? So they've already added more online stuff, but the boards thing, there's half of me wants to be like, yes, because there's only 4 boards, so they need to add more because that's too low an amount for Mario Party. But the other half of me is like, no, they're not going to, because then they're going to come out with the next Mario Party game instead and just sell you that. And their marketing is going to be like, we heard your feedback from the last game about how many boards there weren't, so here you got 8 boards in this game, or however many, and I just said 8 because it was double. So, you know, that, I don't know. I could see it going either way, honestly. They could have like just a DLC pass that's like $20 DLC, and you get like 8 more boards and whatever. Or they could just be like, no, next Mario Party game. Mario Party, whatever. New Super Mario Party. There you go.
In my perfect world, they would make a new Mario Party game, because as much as like the new one, yeah, sure, it was okay. It wasn't the best Mario Party game. What they could do is do another one and have some new elements and old elements, because we see that in Mario Kart all the time, where you have callbacks and even like Smash to old levels from previous games. I think that would be a really good way to have more content. People would be excited for the nostalgia factor, and you don't have to work as hard to do it.
I have a solution.
There you go.
Okay. Do you guys remember the 3DS Mario Party game? That was like just a collection of past maps with like 99 or 100 maps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if they like added
Yeah.
something like that as DLC for the new Mario Party? Well, the one Super Mario Party that's out now. They just like had an expansion that added in all of those boards and stuff, but as an HD collection.
Wasn't that that 3DS game? It was just the mini games, wasn't it? It was like
Was
the
it?
top 100 mini games.
Okay.
I think
It was the
And,
mini games,
and
not the
I think
boards.
so. And Super Mario Party's mini games, I think, are fine. I think they've got a good amount and good quality mini games already. It's just the boards are, well, there's the boards and some dialogue issues and stuff like that. So
I wish that game was a bit bigger, and I also
like
want them to get rid of
unskippable
Toad's
dialogue.
Baseball.
How's it Super Mario Party when it's just got 4 boards? Like Super implies that it is a bigger game.
I don't know, man. Aren't you the Nintendo guy here?
it
But
does.
you are Nintendo.
Some people in the
thought your
comments
uncle
think
worked
I
there.
am. Well, someone does.
Yeah, doesn't your uncle works at Nintendo, right?
Isn't your uncle Mario?
That's what I've been told.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I've gotten photos
not
with your
Luigi.
uncle then. So your
Who's
uncle
related
take his
to
head
the
off. It was very
giant banana
concerning.
from E3?
That's
Would that be Daniel?
That's- Well, it's not so much like a blood relation as like
A reincarnation.
I summoned it from like another realm, like an alternate dimension, and it rose from like a fissure in the earth, and it like just rose out ominously, and then they put it in Fortnite.
Like Calamity Ganon?
Yeah, exactly. It's a giant banana man, and then they put it in Fortnite.
He has yellow.
Yeah.
So
green
that's where he is now.
calamity
His
oozing out.
soul, his soul is trapped. His spirit is trapped in Fortnite.
He needs to be
stealing
unpeeled and
magic,
set
and that
free.
was his punishment. He was
Jesse!
exactly.
I can
Oh,
never think about
no.
eating a banana without thinking that he needs to be
no.
unpeeled and set free.
You are killing me.
So that's what the Yiga do.
Oh no.
Yeah. So is it, I love in the video I posted earlier for the pinned comment. I was just like, reply here to join the Yiga, and so many people
Oh, I saw
replied.
that.
Rick, do you have
They're so,
any
and
final?
the replies are so
questions?
funny.
I think I'm going to start doing that from now on.
The
Why
last
here to
question
join the Yiga?
that I have here is from Haley. Hey, RMFH, do you think we'll get this Zelda Second Quest in Skyward Sword HD? No, I don't. I really wish that we could get that. But knowing Nintendo, they're not going to add something like that into the game after they've already, went back. It already developed it and everything. They're not going to. If we're really lucky, but I highly doubt it. It would be cool. For those that don't know, I believe it's in Hyrule Encyclopedia. I can't remember, but it's one of the books.
I believe so.
Yeah, there's a little excerpt on one of the pages that says that the cutscene shown at the end of Skyward Sword, where Zelda's going to each of the springs, was supposed to originally be playable. So you would be able to play as Zelda and, go to the springs and relive her cutscene stories after you beat the game. But they ended up deciding to just put that in a compilation at the very end of the game. So I highly doubt we'll see it.
Yeah,
It would have fulfilled the needs of all of the people screaming to
Yeah.
play as Zelda, though. I feel.
I'd say that was
That's true.
probably cut because
That's true.
the base game that they did release was already delayed so many times that
Yeah.
they just decided to
Right.
cut out the extra stuff and just focus on Link's journey.
A thought though about why they
Weird.
wouldn't put it back in.
Invite her on, Daniel.
Oh, what?
All the thoughts.
Oh, I see. Okay, so here's a thought though. An IRL theory as opposed to a Zelda theory. It's an IRL theory about a Zelda game. That maybe the reason that they cut it and that they'll never put it back in is because when you're playing as Link in Skyward Sword and you get from area to area, you don't just walk from the Faron Woods to Elden Volcano and then to the desert. You have to go back up into the sky and fly over there and then dive in, right? Zelda can't do that during her quest. She's grounded the whole time. So they can't add that in without either just removing chunks of her story or changing the overworld map to allow her to travel on foot to those places. And either way, it would kind of be either half-assed or janky or just not fit right. So that's why I think that we're not going to see it, is because they would have to do too much to change those segments or to change the base game.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if you can walk between those spots in her adventure, then I'm going to be like, why can't I do that as Link then? Like it's going to be upsetting. So anyways, just to avoid all of that, they're just going to sweep it under the rug. Yeah, that's my brain thoughts.
So another IRL thing is we always hear Nintendo, not just with Zelda, but other Nintendo games in general, but they've said it with almost every Zelda game, that ideas and concepts that don't make it into the final game end up being reused in like the next game or a game that comes later. And a big part of Breath of the Wild's story is Zelda going to all of those different springs and stuff praying. So they kind of did take that concept and apply it to the very next game that they started working on. AJ says in the chat for $5, thank you, says, just like A Link Between Worlds had a similar high roll as Link to the Past, what do you think of the Zelda game going to a similar high roll as Ocarina of Time with new areas and variations of old ones? I guess this can be the final question, since it's a super chat. Tubes, what do you think about that?
Sorry, I'm just trying to piece it all together in my brain.
Just brain. I believe in your brain.
No, someone else answer first. I can't.
Okay, I will say.
Sorry, I just got off of work, guys. Like my brain is like.
I will quickly say that apparently between Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, when they decided to change it from Wind Waker to more traditional Zelda games, before they actually went with Twilight Princess, it was supposed to be a third Hero of Time Zelda game, which is probably why it ended up having so many direct connections and even featuring the Hero of Time in the game as other Wolf Boy and Skull Person. And yeah, apparently that was an idea that they had for a little bit. And they even released concept artwork, not for that, but just in general concept artwork of like adult Link with the Majora's Mask on his head. I don't think it was related, but I think it is sort of an idea of how it could have looked. Because it would be adult Link after Termina, returning to Hyrule, presumably. And they also kind of did something similar, or an idea similar, with the tech demo for Space World 2000 when they first showed off the Zelda GameCube thing, and it was like adult Link doing a sword battle with Ganondorf. That was more like the sword battle in Twilight Princess than it was Ocarina of Time, but it was Ocarina of Time's style, but with improved graphics from the GameCube. So there was like ideas and stuff that Nintendo had for that, but I don't think it's something that they would do now. But it would be cool if 𝐓𝐻𝐻 did get to do something like that. The rest of you guys.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sorry.
Okay. Returning to a similar Hyrule as Ocarina of Time would be amazing, with new areas and variations and old ones of old ones. It would be like a trip down memory lane. They wouldn't even necessarily have to connect it back to Ocarina of Time for it to be enjoyable. But the only problem I see is like the Hero of Time was around after Majora's Mask, so who else are you going to play as? I would love to see a continuation of after Majora's Mask. That would be sick. We all want that, all of us Ocarina of Time fans, at least. Go ahead, Daniel.
I mean, it's kind of I was gonna say almost the same thing, actually. So, but
sorry.
Like, yeah,
I thought you were trying to disagree.
Cool. What? No.
Oh, okay, continue.
Not at all. I'm in agreement. How to articulate words? The Hyrule that we see there is so iconic, right? The only thing is that I would be worried about it being comparatively underwhelming compared to the Hyrule we've grown to know and love in Breath of the Wild. If it was a brand new game, like they would have to do a lot, like add a lot to it, I think. Otherwise, like A Link Between Worlds is a pretty fair comparison. Like if they were to do a quest that maybe takes place after Ocarina of Time, set in that Hyrule, but long enough after that the Hero of Time's not around anymore, like maybe. But then you start edging into Twilight Princess territory, right, where that game already exists. So it's kind of tricky, but I think because of sort of the legacy that game holds, that Ocarina of Time holds, there's a part of me that doesn't think they'll touch it, that doesn't think they'll reimagine it or change anything or do like a direct sequel in that way to it, just because they don't want to like taint the legacy. Do you know what I mean? Not that I think it would, but just from a Nintendo standpoint, I could see them having that stance about it, right? And so it would be super cool, but I don't think it's likely. But that's me maybe being pessimistic.
All right. We are about to head into 2 hours, so we can go ahead and give our goodbyes. But first, Alex donates $7 in Canadian money, which is not a real place, and says, imagine if in Breath of the Wild 2, when Ganondorf wakes up, he sends Zelda and Link into a dark world, like A Link to the Past. An open-air dark world would be great. Yes, so in A Link Between Worlds, they had low roll because technically the dark world wasn't the dark world anymore. But they wanted to use the idea, so they went with low roll. I don't know if the dark world would exist in Breath of the Wild. I think maybe it would just be the Sacred Realm. But it would be interesting. And I think we will get a second world like that. But anyways, thank you guys for coming on and joining. Thank you all for the super chats that came in. Everyone that tuned into this stream. Everyone that tuned into Rick and Daniel's stream.
Thank you all.
Rick, why don't you go ahead and let everyone on Daniel and my stream know who you are and where they can check you out.
Well, I'm Rick, otherwise known as RMFH, and I stream most of the week doing the Zelda timeline. We're going through that right now, and also Breath of the Wild. Just launched a brand new Zelda theory that I think everybody should go check out. It's about Ganondorf. And yeah, that's me. You can find me at all my social medias at RMFH Gaming, or just type in RMFH. I'll pop right up. That's it.
All right.
Everybody else.
Daniel?
Just a side note before I mention my thing. Go watch Rick's video. It's so good. It is so good. It's legitimately, and I don't say this lightly, one of the best Zelda theories I've watched in a good long while. So please go do yourself a favor and have your minds blown over there. But with that, yes, you can find me at all of my things at Capt Burgerson, CAPTBURGERSON. As imagine there was a boat and there's a burger and he is the captain somehow. That's my dad. So that's who I am. And I actually just every time it's a thing. If we're talking recent videos, I actually just put up a video this week on my channel where we take a look at and examine Easter eggs or references in the music of The Wind Waker. So that game's soundtrack has a ton of callbacks and references. Some are pretty obvious, some not so much. And so it's go give that a little watch there if you like those kinds of things. If you like secrets, references, Easter eggs. Otherwise, dungeon design in Zelda is sort of my mainstay series and is ongoing, and it's what it sounds like. We're looking at dungeon design in Zelda. So that's, otherwise, I stream constantly every week. Sometimes Kayla's on that stream with me, sometimes not. So every Wednesday's Breath of the Wednesday, though. Don't forget that. So Breath of the Wednesday. That's all. I'm done talking.
Cool. I am 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐷. As you guys have probably noticed, my life is very chaotic as I showed up 3 minutes before the stream started, did my bingo card during the stream. So I don't really stream right now. I'm trying, but things are so crazy. But if you want to hang out with me, you can find me at Twitter at 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐷. I am often there and often tweeting. I also have my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐷 with an extra A. And yeah, as Bergeson mentioned, I'm normally doing a Minecraft stream of some sort, or Smash, or Animal Crossing on Saturdays, with the exception of this Saturday, because I am AWOL, so hopefully next Saturday. And of course, on the Hylian Gamescast, we've been pretty good about doing it weekly, and I've been kind of okay about being there. So hopefully I'll see you guys there.
That's true.
And we will all be returning Tuesday. At what's the exact schedule, Daniel?
8 a.m. Pacific.
Tuesday.
Cool.
Yep.
Yes. 8 a.m. Pacific. Because we're going to be doing a live stream reaction, discussion, etc. of the E3 Nintendo Direct, and it's going to be, I would say, a good time. I can put that right. That's the wrong. I clicked the wrong thing. I've got the schedule right here on my stream. There we go. So Tuesday, June 15th, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 1 hour before the Direct is when we're starting. And then we're probably, I intend to watch like the trials and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but it's totally up to you what you guys want to do. But it should be a fun time. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and there should be a link in the description to join the Discord, where there is an announcement that has the image with the schedule and everything up. And Daniel also posted in the announcements the image that we used for the bingo card if you want to fill out your own. And I forgot to do it earlier, but I mentioned in the video that I posted earlier today talking about the GameStop posters and stuff that I would be making a chat just for E3 and the bingo cards for everyone to put in their predictions and stuff, so we can all play along and see who got the most right. And it'll be posted beforehand, so we know no one can like go in and change it after E3. So we'll be able to see how correct everyone was, and maybe we'll have something special for whoever gets the most right. So thank you all for watching, and everyone watching on Rick and Daniel's channel. If you haven't already, come over to mine and check mine out for some cool Zelda stuff too. 𝐴𝐵𝐺𝐸. And yeah, everyone watching here, go over and check out their streams. They have this exact same stream up, but formatted a bit differently on their end. Plus they have their own really cool Zelda videos, theories, let's plays, and other stuff. So yeah, have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Yes. Good night, everybody.